Are you ready to be the best that you can be? Join hybrid business coach and consultant Charity Brown and her guest as they give you behind-the-scenes access to the insider tips and tricks that will help you take your business to the next level. Charity has an extraordinary approach to boosting businesses to break out of their modes, influence their industries, and become leaders of their packs. And she's ready to pass this inspiring knowledge on to you today. Learn how to change your game and build your business into what you've always dreamed of, right here on the Create Clarity with Charity podcast.
Hello, and welcome to the Create Clarity with Charity podcast. I am so excited about my guest today. She is an amazing wellnesspreneur. She has scaled her businesses to 8 figures and beyond, maybe even 10. She is a rock star, and she is delivering some amazing products and in a group with support for women and their branded businesses and their products, and featuring them all over the world. Today, we are in luck. And we have Tamara Loehr with us. Hello, Tamara.
Hello, my love. How are you? I've been looking forward to this conversation. I've missed you.
Yes, me too. And our audience is just going to love you because you offer so much insight and you really have the most amazing platform to help women sell their organic products. Please tell the audience about yourself and what you're doing.
Well, I guess I'm 25 years into entrepreneurship, and you know, when you first start out, it's all about surviving, and then you thrive, and then you do a bit of payback, and you know, buy yourself a few nice things, and then you get to a point where, you know, I was lucky enough. Well, luck is preparedness of opportunity. I certainly worked hard to get to a point where I qualified for YPO, which is an average turnover of about 45 million for members. And, you know, really look at how I can use my business and, you know, my experience as a force for good. And, you know, ever since I was younger, I've always done the right thing. Even when I was building my beauty and wellness brands, I wanted them to be ethical, sustainable, cruelty-free, all of those things, affordable. So, you know, just being able to get to this point in my career where I can create and give back is really important. So for me, I wanted to, you know, firstly, bridge the gap in female entrepreneurship. There's not a lot of women getting to even taking the leap into entrepreneurship, let alone getting to 1 million, 10 million, or 100 million. So I wanted to address that first. And the second thing was to create an environment for women to come together. I feel there is an overwhelming lack of trust, and women are worn out. And we need to get back to what worked for us when we were neighbors, when we were a village, when we supported each other. And we've forgotten that we have power, we have gifts. And I just felt it was time for us to come together and work on that because we will change the world. It's not we can, we will.
Yes, that is awesome. And I so support that. And, you know, really giving the tools to women to feel that they can stand in their power and embrace their creative and come out with their products and, you know, make a living doing it. And your platforms do that. So I know from a very young age, you've been an entrepreneur since maybe before your 20s, right?
19, yeah.
19. Yes. So, I mean, and it's really for anyone. So all the women listeners out there, our audience, please listen closely because Tamara is offering the most amazing platform. If you love beauty, and you know, we all love our makeup and our face care and all our hair care, and there's some awesome products and opportunities that she's offering. So Tamara, tell us about Beusail. I'm going to pull it up here. And let's talk about this amazing platform. I am just at all with it. I've been poking around on it for the last few weeks and going to fill up my shopping cart. So everyone, Beusail is spelled BEUSAIL.com. And go there and check out these amazing products. Well, she tells you about actually the real value that's here is much more than just selling things.
Absolutely, it is. Beusail is actually an ancient Gaelic word. I'm quite spiritual, and so is my business partner Natalie. And I love that it spells BU and sail. And it's interesting. I wouldn't mind sharing, if I may, the background as to where we got to with this, which was we were originally approached by some MLM. I was approached by some MLM giants who build and do MLMs, and they wanted me to bring my ethos and my why to their platform. And I'm very passionate about plant-based beauty and wellness, female founded, obviously, clean, organic, locally made, nothing out of China because they test on animals. So they wanted that. And when I looked under the hood of MLM, I was quite disturbed by the fact that most women didn't make money. In fact, they lost money. So there was two things I was trying to achieve with this platform, which is one, to showcase beautiful hand-selected female-founded brands that meet that criteria and that mandate, so that women can come here and shop in confidence, knowing that it does meet that strict criteria and that mandate. And secondly, that it is completely female-founded brands that are indie. And, it was interesting because I saw a survey that said that conscious women, 97% of women would switch to a female-founded brand if it gave back. So I'm basically curating that because there isn't really a place that does that properly. So every product that we have is female-founded, it's clean, it's curated, and it gives back to the United Nations sustainability goals. Now, considering that the beauty and wellness sector is worth over $200 billion a year in America alone, imagine if we could just switch our buying from one that's unethical to one that's female founded and gave back. We'd not only be supporting, thousands of female founders, which is very important because 9 out of 10 brands fail. And that's disgusting. We need to change that. And secondly, we're giving back. So we're not paying any extra. All these products are as affordable as the ones you'll find in Sephora. I would say better quality. But what's great is these ones all have giving embedded. So 1% would be $1 billion. 0.5% would be $1 billion if we were to just switch our behaviors and use our purchasing power for good. We're going to get way better quality products. We're going to support female founders. So that money is going to go to indie female founded brands to support their brand, their journey, and their families and their community, as opposed to a multinational. And thirdly, it's going to give to the United Nations, which will be 10 million impacts a year. So that's my mission. 1%, buy one, support a female founder, and give one to the United Nations sustainability goals. And by simply switching our purchasing power and using that for good and switching from unethical to ethical brands, we can make a positive impact. It's that simple.
Yes, I'm getting chills. Okay, that is yes, that is the evolutionary entrepreneur right there, giving back to society, giving back to our women, giving back to our earth, the kindness that has been made through these products, not using them, testing on animals and using products that are damaging. And, it's just the moral quality, it's virtuous and ethical and feels so yummy. And I really just love the opportunity that you're also giving new entrepreneurs, because you don't have to be $1 million brand to get your products featured here.
Exactly. And the other thing is it's not just for female founded brands, it's for aspiring entrepreneurs. In Beusail, we call them aspirants. So these are women who, are done with the 9 to 5. It doesn't serve us. It doesn't serve our family. In fact, it doesn't serve the business because it's not even productive, but I digress. Women really need options and choices. They need to be able to blend their life and make money at the same time. So what we've done is, when we sat down and thought about how do we support women who are aspiring to be entrepreneurs or want a side hustle like MLM, but one that actually pays money, then, how do we provide that to women? And again, my mentor always says to me, don't overcomplicate things. It'll be very simple and it'll be right in front of you. The answer is always in front of you. And it was when I looked at the industry, because it seemed overwhelming. And I'm like, how do I possibly shift this big beast of 200 million to one that's ethical? a 200 billion to one that's ethical, it was just switching. It's just taking 1% and what an impact that makes. So when we addressed how do we support aspirants, it was staring us in the face. We are on home shopping. I'm a regular on home shopping TV. They take like 50 to 70%. And then if you go to, retail, by the time you're finished, you're looking at 35 to 40% that they take. So at the end of the day, I sat down with my business partner and I said, why don't we just give women 30% ongoing? And then when we've got a cute little calculator that we use where you can slide and you can go, how much do you want in reoccurring revenue every month? Like we start there, selling our products with 30% commission, up to 30% commission. So what you do is you slide across and just say you wanted $2,000 a month. That would be, what you would need, or $5,000 a month. It tells you how many sales you need to make. And then we know that because these products are fantastic, women come back and repurchase them. So then you constantly keep making that commission. So for example, if you were wanting $4,000 a month recurring revenue, then that works out at 20 sales a month. And by month 4, you will be earning that $4,000 reoccurring, assuming that 50% of those come back and repurchase. So that gives women a way to transition to entrepreneurship without having to spend a heap of money. And at the end of the day, it does cost a minimum of $250,000 to start an indie beauty brand.
Yeah.
So, really, how many people have that sort of money? And women don't get access to capital. Like we get 2%, so you might as well call it 0%. And they tend to go to women who are already established and done it before because it's less risky. So how do we get money into women's pockets so that they can, transition from their day job to this, to selling products in the beauty sector, build up their community of customers and build up their cash flow so that when they're ready to release their product, they're an instant sellout because they've already got a customer base. And that's the mistake that I see a lot, is that it's called cart before horse. Women spend all their time and energy and money and savings on creating a product. And then they come to me and say, please mentor me because I need to figure out how to sell this. That's the issue. You start with community first, sell them other products that have the same values as the product that you would like to produce in the future, and then build up your savings and build up your community. And then when you release your product, you can take them on that journey. And more importantly, you can, sell to those same people. Which I think is a lot less risky than the other option.
Well, and then it also, people see your brand differently when they're part of your community and they're in your nurture sequence and they see you building it. And that's what you've done, which is just awesome. When you look at your Facebook page and your Instagram and your YouTube and then of course the amazing community that you're building in Beusail, that is such a gift. So that's really why you're so unique in what you're doing, is that you have built an opportunity for women to sell their products and join a community where they can fulfill their soul and where they can feel supported and where they can get that fulfillment of community and sharing and inviting people to see what they're doing in a very, amazing platform. Can you talk about that part?
Yeah, so we call it Beusail circles. So another thing that I believe one of the major reasons that I've been successful is because of my tribe. I tapped into Entrepreneurs Organization and Young Presidents Organization, obviously, before once I got to the revenue, and having people around me who were like-minded and having a forum, we call it forum, and meeting with them regularly to talk about what we call 5%ers, the things that keep us up at night, the stuff that's really troubling us in a very sacred, safe environment. Now, to be in those organizations, you have to earn $1 million US for EO and 20 million a year for YPO, which seems really unfair because the value that I get from that, I wanted every woman on the planet to get the same value. So, and it's not just for entrepreneurs. We talk about business, personal and self, or work, personal and family. So what I decided to do was to create a community where women could come together and take that inward journey together and have those sacred friends and that sacred relationship with women so that they can, work on themselves in a spiritual way. And I feel, like I said earlier, women are lost, women are worn out. Trust is at an all-time low. So how do we bring these women together? And we call it Beusail circles.
I love it. And as you know, I've been poking around in the circles myself because I am so into what you're doing, because I love building community. I love finding like-minded people all over the world and sharing our gifts and our talents and our products in a place where we're also getting, that, heart-centered connection. It's not just another Facebook group. It's not just a private Facebook group. It's like this special forum just for us. And
very private. And that's what makes it so sacred, because, these are women who are really saying, I see you. We need to get back to that. We need to get back to small groups of women. And we do it around the moon, which is really great. We do new moon and full moon ceremonies. We journal. We really work on our prosperity and purpose, and we take time out for ourselves. We have weekly yoga, we have weekly meditation, all of that is part of our community. And, we make it affordable. It's $33 a month to be part of it. And what's really special is you get $30 test credits in the store so that you can try some of these beautiful female founded brands, because we appreciate you've never heard of them before. You may not have ever heard of them. So we want you to try them because we're so confident that once you do, you'll switch from the multinational to this beautiful brand.
Yes, like I'm going to do. Actually, I have my full shopping cart right here, all ready to purchase my first product. I couldn't help it. I was just like, oh my gosh, I've been looking for our organic arnica healing spray, fresh, organic, homeopathic remedy rollers and, good face cream and all ethical organic stuff. And I just have this feel good feeling when I'm like adding more items to my cart.
Yay. And you can use your test dollars, right? Because once you sign up, you can use that. Every month you get $30 in the store. But really the value in circles is that community. I can't stress enough how much it means to women to have that support in that group that is outside of their family and friends, because we're all very similar. We have very similar values. There's no ego. But there's some strict confidentiality, and it's very much about sharing in a trusted environment, which, people look forward to it every week. It's one of their favorite things to light a candle and to work on themselves and be curious about astrology again. I think we've forgotten to harness the moon's energy, and that's really important to us at Beusail.
It is, yes. And that, that's the inner fitness that I talk about in my book, and that we all need to get back to our inside out. It all starts from inside. And when we get to know ourselves and, we do the 16 personality test, or we do the Myers-Briggs, and we start realizing who we really are. And then we start resonating with, how it's feeling around us. And we start getting a little more centered and a little more connected to the energy of the earth. And like your guys' moon ceremonies and the readings, and it just reminds us to all really get back and rooted with, who we are and what we're really here for. And I just really admire that about it. And I think it's a great opportunity for you guys out there, the audience. I mean, if you're looking for a place, you don't have to sell a product. So don't get confused. This is really actually the first step would be to join the community, the world's first CCM, the community channel marketing, where you get in with wellness people that are like really centered on being happy, healthy, and well, and thriving. And you can do that without buying a product or selling a product. You can just come and join.
You don't even need to use your test credits if you don't want to. Or Christmas is coming up. You could shop ethically this Christmas.
Yes. And it's full of gifts, lots of awesome gifts. And they're the gifts that heal. So it feels even better when you're buying. So tell us about the impact programs that you're working on, the giving back and those kinds of things?
Yeah, so I'm actually in the YPO Impacts chapter. So we're all about giving back, and we have a strong relationship with the United Nations Sustainability Goals. So what's really great about, buy one, give one, the concept of that is using our purchasing power for good. So we say with every dollar, you have to cast a vote. And when you consider that, I love seeing this is all the impacts we've already made, and we've only been going for less than 12 months. If you keep scrolling down, there's like every single sustainability goal, which is really exciting.
Yes. So for you that are listening that can't see this, like these are the main impacts of this organization, which is insane. So poverty, hunger, well-being, education, decent work and economic growth, affordability and clean energy, clean water, gender equality, like everything that matters right now.
Exactly. These are the core goals that we're focusing on at the UN. And what's important is that we let our customers and our Beusailers decide where they want to put their impacts. So that's really important to them. If they, are very passionate about poverty, or if they're very passionate about equality, they can give to their credits to these goals. So, we're on a mission to do 10 million impacts. You can see that we've already done nearly 30,000, I think, already, which is pretty cool. That's a great thing, is when you use your purchasing power for good. So that's a mission that we're on. And, it's simply switching our behaviors. And we've got to remember that every time we cast a vote and we decide, okay, well, this is a couple of dollars cheaper, this product, or it's more convenient because I can pick it up on Amazon as opposed to coming to Beusail and shopping. I get all of that, but when you do that, you're making a compromise, because the top 3,000 companies in the world do $2 trillion of damage to the environment every year.
Wow.
Every year. So let's just make sure that we can try and do something that's conscious. That's really my thing. I know it takes a little bit of extra effort, but at the end of the day, I find, shopping and taking the time to use my purchasing power for good, even if it's only a small amount. I go to that extra effort to go to the local baker, as opposed to, going into the convenience store.
Yeah.
You build relationships this way. You get to meet the owners and the founders, which is exactly what you get to do on Beusail as well, because they're all part of our community. And just seeing their children, and seeing that they can go and do the school run because we've helped them grow a business, it really means the world to me. So, it's not just about the UN and the sustainability goals, but it's also about the impact that we make on female founders, on our community. And inside Beusail circles, we have a community focus. Each circle chooses a local project that they want to give back to, and they're constantly volunteering and doing projects as well, which is very rewarding. So this is how we make a difference. We don't need to think, oh my gosh, it's so overwhelming, all the problems going on in the world. If there's 10,000 of us women together, that's going to make such a huge impact to the community, to our families, to the United Nations Sustainability Goals, and to these female founders. So we make an impact in numbers. We don't need, as much as I love, the people who are doing great in the world, the Elon Musks and all those sorts of people, at the end of the day, they're few and far between. What does it look like if we come together?
Yeah. And it's time. We need to love the earth, because look at what's happening. And the more, the evolutionary entrepreneurs are the ones that are caring about the earth and our future, and giving back in ways like you are. So it's so honorable. I just love it. Because it's not all about monetizing and ROI and KPIs and driving profit margins and, being an influencer. It's really about the long-term impact that you can have with your skills, knowledge, and business, and being able to create more wellness amongst the community. So it's so honorable.
And you can have profit and purpose. I'm not saying not profit. I'm just saying I think you can have both. Absolutely.
Oh, yes. I mean, that's the why we're in business, is to make money.
Exactly.
But a lot of people have lost the whole other part of life because they're not working
Excess.
on the inner fitness, and they're just, human doings instead of human beings, and remembering that, we need to honor Mother Earth and ourselves, and be more ethical and thoughtful about what we're doing while we're making money. Yeah.
Exactly. And, Beusail being the ancient Gaelic word, the opposite of that, because Beusail obviously is ethical, moral, and of good intent, whilst honoring the Earth Mother. So we don't take more than we need. But the opposite of that is called Besuk, which is spelled Beusuch. And that is excess, constantly striving for perfection, taking more than you need, all about me, putting myself first, not we. So, when we look around and we look at the filter of Beusail versus Besuk, that's really what we're doing in our community, is saying, how am I showing up? Am I showing up in a state of Beusail or in a state of Besuk? And then when you start looking around you, you just go, oh my gosh, that business is Besuk, and that business is Besuk, and that person's behavior is Besuk, and that person with the 20 Ferraris, that's Besuk.
Right.
You start
one Ferrari, not 24. I mean,
yeah, exactly. That's excess.
That's excess.
So, I guess, for us, that's what we look at, and that's why I encourage more women to become entrepreneurs, because I don't know about you, but I feel to my core that if women were in business, they would not choose slave child labor just to make an extra bit of profit. They would not choose to use, paper or products that come from, deforestation, cause deforestation. I just don't believe women would do it. So that's why we need more women in business, because we will make the right ethical decisions, not for the sake of 20 cents. We go, well, the price either has to go up or we absorb that price, because we will not compromise our values, especially as mothers. We know that, having children, you would never wish that upon another child. So, that's really why I believe there needs to be more women in business, but we need to start with community first and support each other.
Yeah. So all the women entrepreneurs out there, what is your words of wisdom? You have so many. I mean, I just have to pitch your book. I'm sorry, I know this isn't all about you today, but I do have to mention this amazing book, Balance is BS, How to Have Work-Life Blend. And it's about, the unflinching, honest book of what today's working women face in balancing her professional and personal life in the US. And so tell the women out there, what you think they need to hear to, really embrace this idea of being their own boss, owning their own business.
Well, what's interesting is I wrote this book so that women cannot go through the same sort of battle scars as what I did, because it took me a long time to get to this point. And the lessons learned, without having to read the whole book, is to never compromise on your values, because that's never a sustainable business. And the second thing is to blend, not balance, because everyone's looking for balance, and I'm not sure I've found anyone who's ever achieved that. And the reason being is, if you look at it like a scale, you've got your family and your business here, or your work, and you're trying to juggle. So if you spend too much time at work, you go, oh gosh, I better spend some time with family, and you're doing this all the time. And the issue with that is that there's no self. And we all know, if there's no self, then how do we look after family or business? But I don't believe a lot of women put themselves first, which is the issue. So I say, stuff all of that, throw it all in the middle, and blend everything, and give yourself permission to say no to things that don't serve your values or serve your high priorities. So, and you can do that in a nice way. If I get asked to bake at the school bakery, or to school fundraiser or whatever, I'll say, look, me spending 2 hours in the kitchen is not best use of my time, but I will donate product which you will make more money from, but I'm not going to bake. And I'm very clear around what I will and won't do with my time. And, I say to people when I go away, it's interesting, they actually say it to me now, we'd like you to speak at this conference. And we've heard that, you take your family. So would you like us to book the family room? And I'm like, yes. because I'm not going to go and speak and travel without my family, without making that a blended experience to go see a new country. So people start to understand how you work, and then you've got to give people permission to do the same. So, for example, you know, my daughter tomorrow morning has a performance, and I'm not going to miss that. So, you know, I don't apologize. I just say that, you know, my daughter has a performance and I will be attending. So, you know, we can either do the meeting in the car because I'll be transitioning, if you're okay with that, or we can reschedule. What would you like to do? I always put family first, and then I give them permission to do the same. I make it not an inconvenience. I say to them, okay, well, thank you very much for honoring my daughter's performance. And then I say, well, when's your next kid event coming up? Feel free to do the same, you know, family first, because I really believe, and this is one of my favorite sayings, is that you are not a success in business if you fail at home. So, you know, how do us women figure out how to not have this constant guilt treatment on ourselves, and look at ways to blend? So if anyone wants to come and see me in an afternoon, I work LA times because I choose to live in Australia because it's a beautiful country and I need to be near nature and the beach. And, you know, but what I do is I work from 4 a.m. till lunchtime because I'm on American time, and then I pick up the kids. Now, if anyone local wants to see me, I say, well, that's my kid time. We can meet at the beach and the kids can play and we can talk and at the walk and talk about business then, but we will be blending it because this is my time for family. So I hope those few examples gave you some ideas of how you can use this concept, but the book is really a workbook. So in each section, there's soul fillers, there's how to define your values, you know, how to say no, and all those things as almost like a compass for how you can live a blended life. And just having those there every day really helped me, because whenever I'm feeling overwhelmed or, you know, like I haven't had enough me time, I look at my soul fillers and I go, right, one of my soul fillers is music and dancing. So, you know, I'm going to turn the music up tonight and dance with the kids and jump on the couch. Or or one of them might be a massage. There's little things that you can do that are low or no cost to fill your bucket. And then, you know, everybody knows my values. I share them with everybody. It's, you know, freedom, doing the opposite, impact, creativity, and community. So those are my values. So if someone says to me, hey, I really would like you to invest in this business, but you've got to be in the office from 9 to 5. Well, it's a no from me, right? Because that means that I don't have the freedom and the flexibility because it doesn't align to my values. So I check everything off against that and I'll say, it's a no from me, but thank you. I don't care how big an opportunity it is, because money is not one of my key drivers and it's not one of my key values. Impact is. So
yes, as we can see.
That's kind of how I make decisions. I just try and, you know, I've got a lot of voices in my head, like most women. So I need a little bit of a compass where I can go, hang on, this sounds like a great opportunity. I feel confused. And then I check it, audit it against my values, and I go, it's a no.
Yeah, I love that. That's why I chatted with you about the very first time. And you're like, and it's not even if just one of the values doesn't jive, like they all need to resonate for it really to be aligned.
Absolutely. Have you ever gone back and looked at stuff that hasn't worked for you and checked it against your values? One or two of them will be out. That's why it went pear-shaped.
Yes. I hope you all heard those words of wisdom from Tamara. She really is a light and inspiring and shedding the light on the next path of greatness for our entrepreneurial community and women that don't want to be entrepreneurs. So don't forget that this community is not just for business owners. Beusail is for all women that want to connect and, you know, get into their, you know, inner fitness and meditate and do yoga and have an amazing community of women that are supporting one another, encouraging one another, and shining the light on the way to a more sustainable and ethical way of life.
Conscious living, curious about astrology, and more importantly, wanting to tap back into your purpose.
Yes.
Every one of us is born with a seed of potentiality. Every one of us is a genius, and we all have been put on this planet for a purpose. Now, it doesn't matter how much society is beating the crap out of you, it's still in there. So let's come together and work on what that is. Let's have other women go, oh my gosh, that's your purpose. Let me lean in on that. Let me raise that up. Let me, help you live that purposeful life, because most women aren't driven by money. What we need to be driven by is our purpose. And when we step into our purpose, it doesn't matter when we age. It doesn't matter when our kids leave, the house. It doesn't matter. We don't depend on other people to make us happy, because we know what our purpose is. So that's one of the big things that we work on as well, is defining our purpose and then taking steps towards living that.
So beautiful, Tamara. Thank you so much for being here. I'm just so excited to share this with our audience and spread the good news that this is the newest and best business model as well. So
thank you. And come join a gathering. Everyone's allowed to, come along to at least one gathering for free. So come see if, we're your people, we're your tribe. And come to a moon gathering. We do a new moon gathering once a month, and anyone is welcome. So please come along. I'd love to meet you there. And you can meet all the other beautiful souls in the community. You've met a few. They're pretty special people.
Yes, just filled with love and light. It's amazing.
And a bit of fun and wine.
Yeah, maybe some wine.
Yeah, absolutely. We're 5-star hippies, we call ourselves.
Yes, of course. I'd love to have fun too. And that's so awesome. So I really appreciate you being here today and sharing some of your insight with my guests. And we hope to have you back. So
no, thank you for having me. Thank you for letting me share. I really appreciate you getting it. It just goes to show that you do lead with your head and your heart. So I commend you on that. So thank you for having this space for women.
Thank you so much, Tamara. We'll be in touch.
Absolutely.